3.
Howdy!
Howdy!
My name is Alexis Silva. I'm a sophomore allied health major from New Caney, Texas. But most importantly, I am the loudest, the proudest member of the Fightin' Texas Aggie class of 2022. Hey! For those of you who aren't familiar with Aggie traditions, that was an Aggie introduction. An Aggie introduction is basically everything you would need to know about me in 10 seconds or less. But this isn't a 10-second speech, so an Aggie introduction won't suffice. So with that being said, let's begin. I first want to start off talking about my college experience. I did start off being an allied health major, but I will be switching to interdisciplinary studies with a concentration on grades K through 6 next week. So I got out of high school with my CNA, and I wanted to be a nurse. Well, I thought I wanted to be a nurse, but that changed after many rotations at the hospital, shadowing nurses. So then I went to occupational therapy, and I stuck with occupational therapy for a long time, and that just wasn't the plan. That just didn't make me happy. And there was one thing that I knew that would make me happy, and that was working with kids. And what better way to work with kids than to be a teacher? Being a teacher allows you to impact the lives of many children, and that's what I feel I was called to do, is impact the lives of many children. And I hope to do that as a teacher. And I look to my parents because they were both teachers, and they were great teachers, and I hope to be better than them. So yes, I do owe a lot of deciding to be a teacher to my parents, because I grew up with that. I remember the summers where I would help decorate my dad's classroom and just go to work with my mom. So I grew up in education, and I think education is what I want to stick with for the rest of my life. And I know being an educator is going to bring me great joy, and I really, truly look forward to being an educator. That being said, there is one other thing that I love doing, and that's performing. I love making music. I love my instrument, even though I haven't played it in a while. I still love music more than ever, more than I have before. Out of high school, I stopped doing band. Circumstances I don't want to talk about right now, the core. But music has been a very, very big part of my life. I started at 8 years old with piano, and then middle school I started with clarinet, and the rest is history. I've made lifelong friends through band. I've come across amazing people, and that's all through band. And I've really found my true self through music, and I owe a lot of who I am today to music, because it's allowed me to express myself in ways that I otherwise would have never done. I stepped out of my comfort zone, and it was a great experience for me, and I really owe a lot of my life to music. And I was searching the internet the other day, and I came across a really great quote by Friedrich Nietzsche, and he said, "Without music, life would be a mistake." Well, true to this statement, without music, my life would probably not be as great as it is right now, and that's a very hard truth to say out loud, but it's very true. I wouldn't be half of who I am today without music, and I'm very grateful that I had that experience with music, and every day I just thank God that I am a musician, and this is who I am. Whether I play or not, I am a musician, and I believe that in my heart. Sorry. Another thing that I hold close to my heart is my family. I owe a lot of my success to my mom and dad, because they have been my rock, and they have showed me, they've loved me through the toughest of times, and when I couldn't even love myself, my parents loved me more than anything. And I am an only child, so it's always just been me and my mom and my dad, and you rarely see that nowadays, because parents just don't have one kid. I mean, some do, but I mean, come on, you can have more. But it's good being an only child, because you get whatever you want. So anyway, being an only child, I don't always get what I want, and that's really humbled me. but it's also taught me a great deal about responsibility. Being an only child, I have to rely on myself sometimes, especially as I got older. And my dad's a coach, my mom's a superintendent. They couldn't always be here, so it was just mainly me and my dog at the house. And there I was making Hot Pockets or burning my macaroni and cheese, but we won't talk about that. So yes, being an only child, I have learned a great deal of responsibility. But before I close, I want to leave you with this quote that my dad always used to say, and that is, "You're only as good as what you do next." Well, I am only as good as what I do next. I finished my freshman year with a 3.9 GPA, but what am I going to do with that? It's a 3.9 GPA, great. Next year's going to be a 4.0, and you can bet on that. Okay, so now we will start our Q&A. If anybody has any questions, now would be a great time to ask. So, does anybody have any questions for me?
Do you have a grade level that you want to focus on?
I would like to focus on pre-K or first grade, preferably. I just feel like pre-Kers, they're just so tiny and they're so cute. But first graders, I feel like they're a little bit bigger, but they're so cute. So I don't know. With K through 6, I feel like I have a lot of flexibility with which grade, so I can try out different grades. Definitely don't want to teach 6th grade. Yes. So kindergarten, first grade would be great.
What would be your favorite kind of music to play?
Probably classical music. Beethoven, Mozart, especially on the piano when I was first learning. I think my first song I learned on the piano was a Beethoven piece.
What is your most memorable memory that music has brought you to?
I would like to say Friday nights in the stands at football games. Just being with my friends, not having a care in the world, just watching the football game, dancing, having fun, playing music, doing what we love. Just a bunch of crazy kids. Yes. Yes, cameraman.
When your father would use the "you're only as good as what you do next" quote during your life, when would he use it?
So I would use it when I did play sports. If I scored, I played soccer. If I scored a goal, great. What am I going to do about that? Am I going to score another goal, or am I just going to let the fact that I scored one goal dictate that, Also music, if I got drum major, okay, I got drum major. What am I going to do? What am I going to do to help the band? So it's helped me a lot in life, that quote, and it means a lot to me. There are no more questions. Thank you guys for sitting through that. Gig 'em.